In this session, we're going to learn how to create a dashboard. Dashboard allows you to combine multiple worksheets into one. So the way we can create a dashboard is to click this Add Dashboard button here. We can rename the dashboard to Sales Rep Performance. The first thing we can do is to change the size of our dashboard based on our need. So let's use the fixed size as an example. So I'm going to change the width to 1000 and the height as 800. So of course you can change the dashboard size to a different size based on your need. In here I'm just using the desktop 1000 multiplied by 800 as an example. So once we determine the dashboard size, now we can add the related worksheets we want to show into the dashboard. So let's drag these sheets into the dashboard. Now that we have added all the sheets we want to present, we can start to clean up the dashboard a little bit. We can remove some of the legends that we don't need. So we can simply close all these different legends in here by clicking the X to remove them. So let's keep just the sales representative and the year of date in here as the two filters for this dashboard. So the next function I want to introduce is the filter function. Right now, if you click on this filter, you will notice that only one of the visualizations will change based on this filter because we created this filter in that specific worksheet. What if you want to apply the same filter to all three sheets? Can Tableau support this requirement? Yes, it can. So how can we do that? We can click the little triangle here for this filter, and we can choose Apply to Worksheets and choose All using this data source. If you do so, all the sheets that are using the same data source will automatically apply this filter once you change it. So let's change to Dina, and you'll see that the three worksheets change at the same time. So if you change it to Barbara, it will change at the same time as well. Sometimes you might want to apply a filter to multiple worksheets, but not all the worksheets using the same data source. You can also do that. Let's use the year of date as an example. Let's say you only want to apply the year of date to the sales by state and the profit and the customer satisfaction. What we can do is that we can simply click this triangle here and then choose Apply to Worksheets and then choose Select Worksheets. So we are going to choose only the sales by state and also the customer rating. And let's click OK. So now if you make some changes to the date, you will see that only the sales by state and the customer satisfaction worksheet will be changing accordingly. So this is for the filter. You can play with the filter function and see how does that change your dashboard. The next function I want to introduce is the highlight function. So the highlight function allows you to highlight related parts across multiple different sheets. And let's use the state as an example. Let's highlight the same state in all the relevant worksheets. So what we can do is that we can go to Dashboard and then click Actions. And then we can choose Add Action and choose Highlight. Now for the source and target, we can choose all the sheets. And then for the target highlighting selected field, we can choose the state. And then we can click OK. And we can click OK. So now if you click on, let's say, Montana in your geographic map, it will also highlight Montana in other worksheets as well. So right now in the tree map, you also see Montana in here, and then in this cluster bar chart, you also see that the sales representative's performance in Montana has been highlighted in here. You can also play with this highlight function and select only one or two of the sheets for the highlight function and see how that changes your dashboard. The last function I want to introduce for the dashboard is to add an URL that can link to external web pages. So let's use Wikipedia as an example. So let's add Wikipedia to our dashboard, and once we click on a state, the Wikipedia page will automatically be redirected to its page for that state as well. Let's see how we can do that. So let's go to Dashboard and then click Action. So this time we will choose Add Action, and we will choose Go to URL. So for this Go to URL, we will name it as Wikipedia page of. And then we'll click the triangle, and we are going to choose the state. So now for the source sheet, we'll be choosing the sales by state. So we will only allow this worksheet to perform the function of pulling up the Wikipedia page. So if you click on the state on the other two worksheets, it will not perform this function. So let's just choose the sales by state. Of course, later on, if you're trying to play this on your own, you can try to see if you select the other two sheets, how would that affect your dashboard performance. So let's click Select. And now for the URL, we can type the Wikipedia page link in here. So we can type the Wikipedia page link. And then we can click the right triangle and select State. Then we can test the link to make sure that we are typing in the correct link for Wikipedia page. Yes, this is correct because it can automatically pull up the Wikipedia page for us. And now we can click OK and click OK. So next we will need to add a new space in this dashboard which will allow us to see the Wikipedia page. So let's drag the web page to our dashboard and then click OK. So now let's try with this function. So let's click on a few different states and see if the Wikipedia page will be automatically generated in this web page object. So let's click Alabama. So now you will see that once we click on Alabama, dashboard will perform an action and link to the Alabama page from Wikipedia. If you click on Arizona, it will also do the same thing. So if you click on other worksheets, even if you click on state, it wouldn't perform that function because when we are choosing the source sheet, we did not include all this. If you include this as the source sheet, then when you click them, it will also generate this Wikipedia page for you. So this will be pretty nifty if you're trying to show some of your products and if you have a page for that product. So while you're showing people how that product looks like, it will automatically generate your web page for that product. So you will provide your audience more information about the product. If you want, you can also try to add more objects into your dashboard. For example, adding a text, adding some image, adding some blank space to make the presentation of your dashboard even better. So you can spend some time to play around with all the different elements of dashboard.